Hey guys, welcome to another fun and exciting iMight GT7 stream. I did a recording of my laps and I thought I was recording my voice. I realised I wasn't, so it's all mute. So in this stream I would have just shown you my fastest lap, which was a minute 16.355. Question is the information behind it. You know, you can look at someone going around the track and yep, okay, no worries, but what was the behind the scenes stuff? So in it, I went around with traction control 0, ABS on default. The reason why I use default is comfort soft tyres, to me they will lock up quite easily if you're using weak ABS. Yeah, they'll lock up, a lot of sliding in the brake zone, so causing instability. So default I'd recommend, and active stability management on, countersteer off. There's no brake balance in this, so I'm just going to go around and explain certain corners, how to approach, how to exit, what to look for, what gears to use, blah blah blah, and the mindset and the behavior of the car, which I think is quite important. So where do we start? What does the car like to do when you accelerate? Understeer. Just likes to understeer. So go around these corners, it's really important to show some patience and just almost roll the car or just dabble the accelerator. Hitting the accelerator hard on a corner will cause a lot of understeer. The other thing, see the car sort of, I think the suspension's a bit soft. And you see the front dipping, and so when the front dips, compresses the suspension, and I think that causes a little bit of instability when you're trying to turn, I guess. Causes a lot of sliding. There's a lot of weight on the front tyres. It's a little comfort soft. See the bounciness of the car. So no aggressive accelerating on a corner and no aggressive braking on a corner. You've almost got to brake before the corner and then roll the car So rolling the car will just keep it level and stable. Hitting the brake in a corner will make it throw forward and compress the suspension. And cornering, accelerating hard will cause it to understeer. So push hard on the straights and almost lifting on these corners. Even here, just the tiniest acceleration, maybe to keep the momentum going. So around here would be in fourth gear, keeping it in fourth, and then there's this shadow here just before it start braking, down a third, down a second to get the rotation going, back to third, at the tiniest amount of accelerating so you don't understeer, and then I'm looking for those marshals. That's when I begin to accelerate. Anything before that, you'll understeer into the outside wall. Instinct around here, down a third, down a second. Again, try and get your foot off that brake. Level the car out so it will turn. No massive accelerating, so you're understeering. Up to third. So around here I'll brake hard, but I'm trying to do it in a straight line. Down a first, lifting and letting the gears do the braking. Try and stab at the accelerator to rotate the car. And then coming out in second gear. Into third. Up to fourth. At this apex here. Lift, brake. Oops. Talking while I'm doing it. Down a second, back to third. Try and get this straight as you can. And then around here just lift. And once you feel like you've made that corner, then push. Keeping it in fourth. Just before the shadow, braking third. Second to rotate, back to third, stabilise. Tiniest acceleration. You see the marshals, push. Again, instinct, it's just at the edge of this lip here. Right, down a third, down a second. Was a bit late, I think. Gotta show some patience. You want to push, but if you do, you just end up understeering. You can't. You gotta get that balance. Be patient and get the balance between just throttling to keep the momentum, but not making the car unstable, so it's understeering. So I'm not going to try and break my lap record, because I'm probably just not going to do it, but I want to show you a reasonable lap where I can, oops, third, where I can at least show you what I'm talking about. Third, second. Down a second for this part, first. And a bit of a stabbing of throttle and then a lift to try and, yeah, make it unstable to get it to rotate around. So in fourth, we're going to go down a third and second at this apex, or just before it. Just made it. Try and keep this as straight as you can. And just lift tiniest acceleration. Just to keep the momentum going. Just before that shadow. Down a third, down a second, back to third, stabilise, look for the marshals, and then push. I think I hit the wall because I was a touch wide. Then third, second, going in a bit deep there. So that's 3 invalid laps and now 4th. So I'll try and do this one a little bit more serious and get a valid time. So I'm thinking I could do a 17 and a half, or between 17 and a half. Down a second, back to third. Try and keep this straight. Around here, it's instinct, just lift. Oops, a lot of sliding going on there. That's another invalid. Just before the shadow. So I'm not approaching as fast, so tiniest accelerating. So not coming in as hard, so I'm making that corner a bit easier. Down a third, down a second. And get off that brake when you're getting around the corner. See, if I pushed too hard there, I'd have understeered into the rocky wall. Second for the first corners, first for these two. Back the second. Right, let's see if we can do a proper one. At the apex, third, momentarily in second. Try and straighten this up, get the revs up. Just lifting, because there's a lot of sliding. Just gently bringing on the accelerator. Looking for this shadow down here. Third, second, back to third. Tiniest accelerating. See the marshals push. Bit of instinct around here, near the edge of this lip. Third, second, foot off the brake, stabilise the car. Be as patient as you can. Slow as fast. Second, first, foot off the brake. Bit of a stab and lift to get the car to rotate. Up to second. It's not bad. 16.8. So, and again, down a second, back to third. Up to fourth. You watch. I'll take my foot off the brake. No braking at all. Just lift, and then just working out when to put the accelerator back on. Leaving in fourth. Looking for that shadow. Down a third. Second, back to third, stabilise. Looking for those marshals, push. Being as patient as you can. Second, first, anyway, hopefully you've got something out of that. Any questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, the settings, traction control 0, ABS default, that reduces any locking up of the tyres and sliding. Active stability management on, countersteer off. At my time of 16.3. is 2.64. And there's the usual suspect, tough old man, who's always beating me. He's a pretty fast driver, but I have improved a lot. I was at 17.1, so I was behind Fion and Scumbag, and now I've jumped in both, and I'm in gold, so it's only me and tough old man. So do your best to get gold for this one. It is difficult, it is, but to me it's doing enough laps and then trying to understand the car. Like I said, the stability of the car. Pushing too hard is just understeering. Braking into the corners just drops the end, and it just doesn't want to turn. So you've really got to use the gears to slow down on corners, get off the brake, and just let the car level out and roll. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that, and you've learnt something, and see you on the next one. Bye for now.